Hello students, and welcome back to your life skills videos. I hope you're all keeping well at home. In this video, we will learn on the topic wants and needs, and the title of our lesson is I must have it. Dear children, let me ask you a question. Do you keep asking for things from your parents which are not very necessary, but you really want to have it because your friends have it too? For example, you may ask for Transformer toys, fairy tale dresses, a new phone for playing games, a dream bicycle, etc. Before asking for it, do you ever try to think or ponder whether what you are asking is really a need for you? Do you know what are needs and wants? In this lesson, we will learn what we understand by needs and wants of a person. Let us first look into the story of this lesson with the title I Must Have It. Baichung was a young boy from Sikkim. He had an old cycle with which he rides to school every day. But he really wanted to have a new bicycle, so he kept asking his father to buy him a new one. However, his family was not rich enough to afford it. One day, he was having a conversation with his father. Baichung said to his father, "The same old cycle. I certainly need a new one." His father replied, "I hope you understand, Baichung. We really want to buy you a new cycle, but we can't do it immediately. There are more important needs that have to be taken care of first." Then he said, "But this is also important, Appa. I need a new cycle desperately. I really do." Then he went out of the house angrily, and he wished he had a new cycle. As he passed down the church road, he saw his dream bicycle on display, and he thought in his mind, "With this 10-gear mountain bicycle, I could race like the wind." But Baichung also felt bad that he had shouted at his father. He said, "I shouldn't have been so rude." But he also felt sorry for himself. And he said, "I can't keep using this bike. After all, it's not like I'm demanding the moon." The next day, as he was riding to school, he met Balzar, who was cheerfully marching to school, and he greeted him. When he got home that afternoon, Baichung was subdued. He didn't talk much. And his mother was worried why he was quite upset. Baichung didn't feel like talking. At dinner time, his father said to him, "You have not eaten much?" He replied, "I'm not hungry." The next morning, Baichung met Balzar on the way to school again. He said to him, "Balzar, why don't we meet and ride to school together every day?" Then Balzar replied, "I don't have a bicycle. I've always wanted one though." When Baichung returned home that evening, he was surprised. His mother said, "Baichung, Appa has kept some things for you." "What's this?" "There's a sandpaper, a paint, a paintbrush, a headlamp, and a water bottle holder for my bicycle." His mother said, "Until we can buy you a new cycle, Baichung." Then he replied, "Please tell Appa there's no rush, Amma. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have insisted." Baichung realized that he has been insisting on his wants and not his need. From this lesson, we learned that Baichung was asking for something which is not a need but a want. He already had a bicycle to ride to school, but he still wanted a mountain bicycle because he wanted to ride fast like a wind and have fun. Though his parents were unable to give him what he's asking for, he kept on insisting them. He did not even consider the problems and difficulties of his parents. He only cared about his own wants. However, when he came to know that Balzar don't even have a bicycle of his own and goes to school by foot, he realized his mistake. Balzar always wanted to have a bicycle for school but could never afford it. This is considered as a need. On the other hand, Bai-chung was demanding a dream bicycle from his parents. This is considered as wants. Bai-chung wants a dream bicycle, whereas Balzar was in need of a bicycle. This is the difference between wants and needs. Let us look into three aspects of wants and needs. Number 1, wants and needs. Well, a need is something we require to live a healthy life, whereas a want is not essential for our survival. It is something we want. Needs refers to the essential things that every person needs in life to survive. For example, food, water, shelter, clothing, etc. are the things without which we cannot stay alive. On the other hand, wants refers to the things which a person desires to have in life, although he or she can survive without it. For example, a person who wants to own a luxurious car even though he has an all-ordinary car with which he can travel for his works. People with wants often want to have more and more of what they actually need for life. They may even have enough essential clothing, but still they want to buy new ones. People who are full of wants often spend money unnecessarily. They would keep spending instead of saving. Number 2, all wants cannot be fulfilled. All of us have different wants. We have to make responsible choices. First, planning for our needs and then seeing which ones we can fulfill. Human wants are unlimited. We often want more and more to satisfy our lives. Every time you see something new is out in the market or someone is using a new gadget, you also want to have it for yourself. But remember that all wants cannot be fulfilled or satisfied. Especially when you come from a family that struggles financially, it is more important to differentiate between wants and needs whenever you want something from your parents. Think over whether what you are asking or demanding from your parents is a need or a want. If it is a want, then you should stop asking from your parents. As a young boy and girl, you can start learning making responsible choices. Make responsible choices. It means that you should know how to plan what your needs are and to choose what are the ones that you can only fulfill. Those ones that your parents cannot afford for you should be omitted. Remember that all wants cannot be fulfilled. Number 3. Someone's need may be another person's want. The classification of things into needs or wants is subjective. The same object may be a need for someone and a want for another person. For instance, Suresh may be wanting and asking his parents to buy a phone for him as he wants to play his favorite games in it. Whereas Raju may be really needing a smartphone so he can attend his online classes. Hence, there are things which may be seen as a need for someone, whereas for another person, it may just be a want for fulfilling a wish or desire. Just like in the story of this lesson, Bai-chung wants to own his dream bicycle, though he already have one which he can use it to go to school. But for Balzar, he don't even have a bicycle to ride to school. Needs and wants can differ from person to person. Thus we see that someone's need may be another person's wants. So now that you have learned what are called needs and what are wants, you should always try to make responsible choices. Never ask your parents for things which is not necessary. Always consider the problems of your parents as they may be struggling to provide for your needs. Always be able to differentiate between needs and wants. Moving on, let us look into the worksheets of this lesson in pages 11, 13, and 14. In page 11, it says, read the following situations. Are these needs or wants? Write need or want for each situation. So you have to write whether it is a need or a want in each of the situation given. In page 11, it says read the following situations. Number 1, explain why each situation below describes a want and not a need. And number 2, if possible, give an example to explain when the object in each situation will be a need and not a want. And in page number 14, there is a journal. You have to think of a natural calamity such as an earthquake or a landslide or an unusual incident you or your parents have heard or witnessed. So in your own words, describe which needs were not met to the victims during that incident. So complete the worksheets in page 11, 13 and 14. This brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.